Tonight on Noir.
Move! Okay, let's go, let's go.
Bust them up, guys.
I'm one of those guys who thinks the History Channel is one of the greatest channels in existence. Sure, it has a talent for redundancy, as they tell the same stories over and over again with different titles and voiceovers. But one thing is very clear after watching it for 5 hours straight. The history of guns is the history of this country. From the days of old westerns and great war movies to the high-action green screen cinema blockbusters of today, guns in America are inseparable. Before Jerry West was breaking ankles with this fundamentally sound crossover, and before Babe Ruth was launching baseballs into the windshields of Buick Masters, people were shooting guns recreationally. Where would this country be without guns? Hell, would this country even be? You can gawk, shake your head, and hit me with the Drake hand wave and protest all you want. At the end of the day, the gun is the lifeblood of this country. We won our independence at the crack of a gun, ended slavery with the crack of a gun, and continue to defend this country, our lives and homes with the gun. Say what you want about America, but if you live here and enjoy the freedoms this country offers you, you should at bare minimum have a thankful respect for the gun. It's easy to point out all of the bad things that have been done with the firearm, but no one can deny all of the overwhelming accomplishments thanks only to guns, especially when they call guns like the FNFAL the right arm of the free world. You don't have to own a gun. You don't have to shoot a gun. Hell, you don't even have to like guns, but at least give credit where credit is due. The gun is a staple in this country's history and always will be.
You know, I'm one of those people that it's very, very easy for me to associate the gun with the positive things that it's done for this country, because I've grown up with a deep appreciation for the freedoms that we've been afforded, for the men and women who've given their lives and have just absolutely given us the opportunity to even do something like this. That used to be the general sentiment too. Be proud of your freedom.
That's the thing though. Like we've gotten too good to be patriotic. It's almost kind of like it's seemingly almost geeky to be patriotic. Like we're so progressive and so new age that we're above and beyond. We're past being patriotic, and it's baffling because if you look at the gun and the way it was implemented throughout our history, sure, there were some uses that were really questionable. No, they weren't questionable. They were horrible.
They were just flat out wrong.
However, they've established this country and thus allowed us to live here the way we live here.
Yeah.
The people who utilize the gun to fight for our freedoms, to give us the freedoms we have now, what that also afforded us was an ability to enjoy the gun even more recreationally. You know, like for you and I, we go to our idea of gun ownership in large part stems from, yes, self-protection, but also the ability to go to range and shoot.
Right.
You know?
Because there's still the element, like you were saying, we still have the military, thank God.
Exactly.
We still have the people that love the gun to go hunting. It's just now we've been afforded the opportunity to broaden what that means.
And people have been shooting guns recreationally for the longest. However, it's a little different when you're in the middle of a civil war to say, I'm gonna go out and shoot my gun recreationally when you know you have to probably kill one of your own countrymen the next day. That's a little different. But by that sacrifice, that allows us to, one, live safer than they probably did during their time, and then also to be able to enjoy the guns at a more recreational level instead of adding this kind of morbid sense of gun use, in a sense.
Well, and I think that's great, because that's exactly what we did last week when we went to the range, you know, with Lessort, and he has tons of other fun things for us to do too. So actually, let's check that out.
Hey guys, we're back out here at ETTS. Amy said that she wouldn't do another episode 5, if she wasn't able to shoot another course of fire, so we're here. She was gonna go on strike, evidently. And not only are we at the course of fire, but we're going to be shooting the MP5. There's no gun that's more fun. That's all there is to it. It's a machine gun. When you press the trigger and you keep it pressed, it just keeps on feeding ammo until you run out in the magazine. So here, feed the magazine in. We got the bolt release here. That's what we're going to be doing. When we do reloads, we're only going to be doing them while we're stopped for safety reasons. What we're going to do is roll up in a vehicle over here. We're going to sprint across to this position, and we're going to shoot these targets here. We're going to be shooting teams. Colion and Amy are shooting against me and Chet. Chet is Amy's friend. You're going to meet him in a minute. And we're going to put 10 rounds on each target. Colion will shoot the target on the left. Amy will shoot the target on the right. At least 10 rounds on the target. At that point, when they get the rounds on targets, Colion's going to yell, move, and we're going to head up to the next stage. Communication's important here just to coordinate movement for safety reasons. And so we are going to be here in this position. We got the plate racks here. Colion, again, is going to shoot on the left, Amy on the right. Each is going to have to clean their own plate racks. Hopefully we go full auto on this. We just haven't tried it. Hopefully we can make those things fall at the same time. At that point, when the racks are clean, Colion's going to yell move again. Muzzles up the entire time for safety reasons. Coming across here, we're going to be shooting close together here again. Amy's going to be shooting on the right, Colion on the left. And Amy's going to shoot the 3 targets on the right, Colion on the left. 2 shots on each of the plates, and they got to knock the poppers down. At that point, when this is done, Colion yells move again. They're moving over to the second to last stage. This is going to be really interesting. We haven't done this before, but we have 18 clays on the berm, and we got to break all those up into small pieces and be done with it before you move to the next stage. Once they've got all those broken, whether it takes half a mag, a full mag, or 2 mags, they're going to move to the next stage on Colion's call move. At this point, we're coming over here. The last stage, it's going to be a super close quarters stage, and we're putting 10 rounds at least in each of the 2 circles. Again, Amy's going to shoot on the right, Colion on the left. Guys, Amy, I'm just glad you're doing another show because we're shooting.
Damn right.
I mean,
told you I'm not doing this if we don't come back out to the range.
You're going to hold us hostage.
I know.
So, obviously, you know Colion, and we got Chet here. So, Chet is Amy's friend. I'm a little nervous. Chet says he's never shot machine guns before. But he's a stunt pilot. I'm not joking about that. Flies biplanes. I don't know if this is going to be stimulating or exciting to you, but I hope it is.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to it, and you're my teammate, so that's good. You're used to pressure. And then we have Trident Response here as a range safety officer, just making sure as we move and go about this course of fire that everybody's safe. I know we all are going to be. Amy, there's no way that you can perform as well as you did last week, but I'm hoping.
I set the bar high for myself, so I did. Mm-hmm.
And you guys have your truck about a half mile down the road, so let's rock and roll. Let's do it.
Go.
All right, so this is for time, and I need you to not mess up this time, like last week.
What are you talking about?
Baby, tap rack. Seats, the mag's not seated.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, remember the mag? You want me to go through the whole thing with him? Okay, all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You ready? Go.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, guys, you better get moving. You guys better get moving. Colion, don't load that thing until you get up to the stage.
Ready?
Nice.
Oh, shit.
It's time to rock and roll.
Hit it.
Good.
Go.
Uh-oh, it's a double load. All right, Amy, get him out of those pockets. You see that load? That was smooth. That was fast. All right. All right.
Move. Okay, let's go.
Bust them up, guys. Uh-oh, another double reload. Why is it that you guys go empty every time together? I hear a lot of quiet right now. Amy ended that.
Got it?
Hit it. Move.
You guys are looking good, but hey. Last stage. Make it count. You guys are running fast right now.
Ready?
Hit it.
Nice. All right, that was awesome, you guys. That was smooth. Give me some. Let's clear these things. Nice work. And you lock back, Amy?
Huh?
Nice. You locked back? All right, nice.
Looking good?
All right, you guys, I have to say that was smooth. I mean, I'm pretty convinced that you guys have been doing this all your lives. Yes. And Amy, again, you. I mean, that was
video games.
Pretty flawless.
Yeah.
Video games.
Did you see her, by the way, on those headshots on the popper? Because it would not go down. She just went higher on the target. It was a 9mm, not a 40 or not a 45. So she just got higher on the target, knocked it down.
It was an anemic round.
All right. So clearly, Amy dumped a lot of rounds right in the center of that. Awesome muzzle control on that. No muzzle rise.
Look at that group, baby.
I know. I didn't want to say anything about it. Damn.
That's because Darren's a hater.
Damn. I am a hater when you put groups like that together in the MP5.
Those clay pigeons.
All right. We got 2 hits back here.
Good shit, Amy.
She didn't waste any lead on that either. I mean, 2 shots. That was the rule. 2 shots. Of course, Colion's going to waste some down here. All the poppers down. Colion either doesn't know how to count or he really likes to shoot the MP5.
I got a heavy trigger.
One of the two. All right. Plate rack's clean, so no penalties at this point.
You were fast on that.
Yeah, you guys were fast on that. All right, and we got to count on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, you had 1 extra one just to build in some security.
Look at that group, baby.
Wait.
Look at them games.
Why is it over here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can count. All right, so you guys had no penalties.
What was our time?
And your time was, I was counting on both, 77 seconds. 77 seconds from the time you guys got the guns in the truck to here loaded. And Amy, again, your reloads were badass. I mean, there's nothing cooler as far as I'm concerned in the gun business than loading an MP5, just knocking that bolt down and doing all that. Now, it's my turn and Chet's turn to show you guys how to shoot. Let's get it done.
So excited to embarrass themselves.
Colion and Amy shot pretty damn well. I'm nervous. What do you think?
Man, we're gonna have to get after this. I saw the video of Amy and Colion last week, and I'll tell you what, Amy was on fire. I'm never gonna hear the end of it if we don't beat them.
You're right, and she still hasn't gotten any crazy training yet. Imagine her when she gets some tried and training.
I'm glad I'm here early before she gets too good.
Right.
But I think we got some good tricks up our sleeve. I think we can get it.
Well, we learned a little bit from what they did. We're gonna shoot a little more full auto and try to do what we need to do to get a better time. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely, man. I think we got this.
Get it out. Unlock. All right. All right, let's haul ass. Let's do it. Okay. Oh, motherfucker.
Yep, that looks about right.
All right, let's do it. Move.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Darren, you reload like a girl.
You're
What is
right.
that supposed to mean?
Look at that.
Oh! Did somebody forget to seat the magazine?
They did not download the mags. Move.
Oh, man.
Okay, I gotta give it to you on the headshot.
Let's
Get it done. Okay. Locking that thing back this time because they uploaded the mags. All right, now we're good. All right.
You missed one, Darren.
One more time.
unload.
All right. Let's move.
Look at that.
All right.
grouping.
We got that thing done. Let's lock them back.
What'd you get?
116.53.
Nice run, buddy. Nice run.
Nice.
All right, lock back. We're all good. Safe. Nice.
All right.
awesome.
Well,
Nice.
All right.
that was good.
All right.
that was
Even
good.
though
Honestly, I don't want to talk about anything right now except
Hey.
for the fact that Darren forgot to seat the magazine. However, I will say this. He handled the plate rack initially like a boss. So I'll give you that. So,
Take a look at this.
Hey, I was expecting the magazines. You know, it was nice enough to have friends load the magazines for us. Oh! What?
Okay.
Whoa.
What? Is that good?
Yeah, it is. All right. Let's
Is that what I was supposed to do? Yeah, give me some love.
That was
Hey.
good. This,
I'm
okay.
giving you some love, Darren. That was good.
The hater in me, this pisses me off.
Yeah?
All right, the friend in me, this pisses me off. So either way you look at it, I don't like this right now.
The reason I did so well on that, because I had your group in my mind while I was shooting that target, I guarantee you. I did. So, you guys,
Moving
Now,
on.
it looks like you missed a couple over here, though.
we did, but you
You
guys, yeah, no, we did not. We
Yeah,
moved them all.
yeah, you did.
Hey,
That's what I was gonna say. I think they're all moved there,
we gave
Darren.
you guys a ride
so
on
good
that.
job.
We got 2 hits here.
Now, I want to call out something here.
Okay, headshots.
This bad boy right here, I saw this. I got to give it to you on this one.
Yeah.
All right.
This was kind of sexy. All right,
Look
so
at that.
okay, that group
You got
was nice
2?
too.
All right.
So no penalties on the plate rack at all.
Nope.
I'll give you that. Now, you handled initially.
Right.
I did not think you could do that. I didn't, and I was kind of pissed initially. But then when I saw you forgot to seat the magazine,
right,
it made it up for you.
What'd you get? What did you and Amy do this thing? Okay, get out of there. At the beginning of every show, I'm gonna push you aside. It's my segment.
You're not gonna say shit when I show you this time, though.
So Chet, you shot awesome, man. You shot awesome.
Yeah, Chet, that was
obviously,
very
you being
impressive.
a stunt pilot and dealing with a lot of people, having people's lives literally in your hand, whether you're at an air show or whether you have somebody riding with you, the stress doesn't affect you very much. That's pretty damn cool because my adrenaline was jumping again, just like it did last time. All right, guys, we're gonna go talk about this and have.
Wait! Are we gonna act like this wasn't time?
I didn't want to know the time. I'm a little nervous.
We're gonna act
That's
like
why I was trying to get out of here.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
What was the time?
Well, I got 1:16:53.
And because you're my friend, I got 1:13.
So maybe it's somewhere in the middle.
I don't know.
73? So 77, 73, so we got you by 4 seconds.
Yeah.
That's how close it was?
Pretty much.
That was pretty damn cool.
Can we run this again?
Amy, you shot that damn well.
I'm thinking, you want to show them how we think?
You know what?
I
We
don't think
beat you.
I
We
don't think
beat
it's
you. It's
pride
my
can handle
segment.
it.
It's
I
my
don't think
segment.
it's
We're
pride
going to
can
talk
handle
about this. We're going to get some booze. All right, guys, we got done shooting. We are up here at the barn. It's a beautiful night once again. And we shot some of Germany's best machinery earlier, the HK MP5. And drinking some Kentucky bourbon right now, and Colion was asking why I made the connection, but I've spent a lot of time in Kentucky, and there are lots of Germans, so it's a good enough excuse for me. So Kentucky straight bourbon. Cheers, guys. That was some awesome shooting. Cheers. All right. And I'm drinking out of a shot glass, just so you know, because I drink my bourbon out of a shot glass.
Yeah, please, you've been babysitting that thing.
Chet, you are a stunt pilot, mentioned it earlier. You fly a biplane, you fly people around in the biplane, you do barrel rolls and all kinds of G's and all that. How did this compare, and how does it compare to the other shooting that you've done?
You know, there's a lot of similarities to this. You know, the pressure, the stress as you're moving between targets, the same thing as you're diving into an air show box with a bunch of people watching. The excitement, you know, controlling your heart rate, all of those things. This is a totally different type of fun, though. I mean, you know, you're outside, you're in nature, you know, moving from target to target. It was a totally different challenge on top of the fact that I've never shot a machine gun before. This was just freaking cool.
And hopefully we didn't spoil you, but what kind of other stuff have you shot? Mostly static rifle, bolt-action rifle, handguns?
Bolt-action rifle. I own a couple of AR-15s,
Don't you do a little
pistols.
3-gun too?
What's that?
Don't you do a little 3-gun too?
Yep, I've done a
Damn,
couple
he
of
sold
3-gun
out on me.
patches.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad I picked him as my teammate.
So you
I'm
lost.
glad I invited him.
Right?
Actually, I was a little scared since I've never seen you shoot before. I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah.
trying to figure out
He's
why.
going to
owned
be
it.
our wild card.
Is it
I'm not
something
really
in the
sure.
water? You guys, how long you guys known each other? You guys been friends for a long time?
Years now. Yeah.
Yeah, several
I'm
years.
thinking you guys North Dallas. I'm thinking it's in the water that
Yeah.
you guys are just good shooters naturally
I
because
guess so.
Amy, you again kicked ass.
Thanks.
I mean, that was serious. I
Well,
mean,
that
it was good.
that was pretty easy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to stand there at every single one of those stations and just unload.
And you did on the last target. You were angry at it, I think. You know, and by the
I
way,
had some problems with my mag change
Yeah,
at one point.
and Colion, I want you to address why we should be able to have these guns available because they're so much fun. But our friends at SWFA, a gun store here about 3 miles away, gave us the MP5s to use for a short period of time. We appreciate that. But these really should be available. I mean, these are guns that should run about $9,000 or $900. $900.
Oh, okay.
If you go to buy one right now, they're
You're looking
$25,000
easily
only
20 grand.
because of the federal law that
Yeah.
prohibits us from having them post 1986.
And I think it's unbelievably moronic. It's moronic. It's like they're machine guns, not lasers. And
Yeah.
even if they were, still. But and I know there's a couple people that are like, oh my God, you want to let everybody have machine guns?
Yeah, we do.
Honestly, if somebody was shooting at me, I want them to shoot at me with a machine gun.
Right. And that's the point to make. We were not doing military stuff there because military guys, lots of my friends who have been in combat and all that, we all know lots of people because of what's been going on over the last 10 or 15 years. They don't use full auto.
No.
They use full auto when they're on the ranges because it's fun.
Yeah.
But when they're in combat, they're using semi-automatic.
Just
they're
to
aiming.
further explain my point about, you know, why I'd rather be shot at by someone with a machine gun.
because
They're
they
harder
aren't
to control.
Absolutely.
And
they
it makes
know
you
that.
less
That makes sense.
accurate.
Right.
Yeah, but you don't let people
But how
think
much
about that
fun
aspect.
are they? So we
It
were
was
just
so
having
much fun.
And, I
Well,
mean,
can I interject like one girly comment really
Yes,
quick
yes,
just for
yes.
the other girls that are watching this show? I'm really glad today that I did not have my Lululemon pants on because I did last week and I didn't really need the extra storage
Wait,
for
the
my
tactical
mag. Yes.
Lululemon pants that don't exist?
No, the cute,
511s.
like, the
The
cute
511s came
Lululemon
through.
pants, yes. But the 511s definitely held up today. So.
And Chet's come prepared, so he obviously
No.
had room for the mags.
Oh, yeah.
And I did have to do the mag.
I didn't need that many
change,
mags because I was just...
Right. You're right.
Well,
My group was better than yours at the end. That's all I'm going to say.
But you forgot to seat the magazine. You thought we were going to talk
only
about that?
justice,
You thought you were going to
baby.
get away with that?
Well, guys, I think we can all agree that you knocked it out of the park again, LaSort. So I can't wait. We're setting it higher and higher every week, so I can't wait to see what he's going to take us to do next week.
I'm glad you did episode 5 because you weren't going to unless we did our shit.
He is so
Just don't try to get me to jump out of any plane, so set the bar higher.
We definitely will
Chet's
not.
Come on, man. Don't got me out here. You're up next.
Well, before we go, I want to say thank you again to ETTS for letting us come out here and shoot. Such a beautiful place. So
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us again. We'll be out here again next week. See what else we got in store.
Props to Chet for shooting so well, and for all of us being safe once again. Cheers.
Cheers.
I've never really been a smoker. Okay, I'm lying. There was that one time in undergrad where I smoked Black and Milds for about a week. But everyone is a little basic sometimes. When it comes to cigars, I'm usually the observer, not the smoker. Like a first-time gun range visitor who's too nervous to shoot, but is captivated by the loud boom and the sinister-looking gun smoke. I've always been enamored by the romantic quality of cigar smoke. From its hypnotic flight path to its beautifully overwhelming aroma, I've managed to elude this tobacco siren's call. Until now. Havana Social Club is where I choose to lose my cigar virginity. Located in the heart of the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, walking into the Havana Social Club feels a bit like walking into the Magnolia section in Best Buy, where the lighting is soft and inviting, in contrast to the fluorescent hell that awaits you on the Best Buy floor. Unlike other cigar lounges I've been to, I don't feel like I just stepped into my grandfather's secret squirrel clubhouse. Instead, there's a youthful vibrancy here, mixed with a touch of old school charm. It's a place I'd come to with a group of friends and spend the night debating Khaleesi's hotness and fielding the ever-reoccurring question, how many guns do you own? Watching the clubhouse's in-house Cuban master cigar roller artfully fashion a cigar out of dried up tobacco leaves conjures up images of YouTube great Hickok 45 hand-loading a 50 caliber bullet into a freshly cleaned brass casing. Your mind will tell you that you want to pair that custom fatty with a fine whiskey, but trust me, listen to your heart. Go for their famous Cuban signature mojito. On the surface, cigars all look alike, much like all ARs tend to look alike. It's not until you use them that you begin to appreciate their unique but subtle individual characteristics. I may not find the gas blowback from a suppressed machine gun as romantic as cigar smoke, but I hardly find the cigar aftertaste romantic either. But one thing is certain, each experience is well worth it.
Yeah, no, it might not make sense to anybody else out there that hand rolling a cigar and hand loading ammunition would possibly even be in the same thought, because that would never happen for me. But I can definitely,
it makes sense. I don't know why it makes sense in my brain, but it does.
I hate giving you credit. You're right. After you said it, I'm like, I could maybe see that. I've actually never watched anybody hand load ammunition
now,
before.
there's no paper involved or anything like that, but what it is, and I said in the video, it just looks like somebody's hand rolling a bullet, a very big bullet.
Is there as much, okay, so when someone's rolling a cigar, there's a craft to it. There's an art to it. Is that the same with hand loading ammunition?
To a certain extent.
Okay.
It's not as artsy as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
You know, in my comparison, to make the analogy work a little bit better. But it's just the images that kind of pop up in my mind. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about rolling cigars, I mean, this is an art form that's been going on for centuries. You
know what I really noticed about that place too? It looked like just a place you could go and relax and then wind after.
It's a place to do about nothing.
Yeah.
Which I think we need that sometimes because our current lifestyles is always go. It's an awesome place to just kind of go, sit back, and just turn your brain off. Or converse with different people and just. Sure. Would that be a place you could see yourself going, after a long day at the range or something? Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's easy. I mean, it's like gun smoke, cigar smoke. You know,
of course, of course.
So for most people out there who've kind of followed my path into the firearms world, you know that I really didn't start shooting till I was about 24 or 25 years old. And I was pretty much a city boy who just fell into firearms and turned it into a bit of a passion. But today we're here with Mr. Bob Holland, who probably had a bit of a different background and upbringing in terms of firearms, well, comparatively to me. So, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah? So, kind of tell people a little bit how you came into firearms and just kind of your background in terms of your experience with firearms, the first time you held a gun, first time you shot a gun.
Well, like you, I was a city boy. I didn't grow up in the country where we use guns every day. So the first time I was exposed to shotguns or rifles was hunting with my dad. Not frequently, but once or twice a year, the usual Texas stuff, dove hunting, deer hunting. Never sat down and really got a lesson on either one, just kind of learned by observation, except basic safety. Here's the safety. Don't walk around with a loaded gun, that sort of thing. Don't point it at people. So I liked it, but it wasn't a passion, and it was something I did every day. And I got much more interested in hunting in my professional life, I guess, after college and law school and things like that. And I took more serious hunting trips where there really was an objective. And so that's kind of how it evolved.
And for me, in contrast, my first time going was at an indoor range. First time shooting was at an indoor range with a gun I knew nothing about. And then after shooting it, I became fascinated with the mechanism, the mechanical gun itself. Like, self-defense really never even crossed my mind at that point. And so I started researching it from being fascinated with the physics and the science behind it and things like that, and having a more aesthetic appreciation for the firearm. And so it's just interesting to kind of hear the differences of appreciation, even though they meet in the middle somewhere where we're both.
Yeah, in a way, I wish I'd had that because I probably would have enjoyed that aspect of hunting more if I knew more about it. I didn't at the time.
What aspect do you enjoy the most about hunting?
It's still being outdoors.
Being
it's
outside.
camaraderie. I've hunted by myself and a guide. I have enjoyed that because I ended up talking to the guide and learning about people from different parts of the world and what their backgrounds are. So even if it's just solo, which sheep hunting, for example, pretty much is.
So, now, okay, sheep hunting. Because usually when people hear sheep hunting,
Yeah.
they're like, especially people who are kind of anti-hunting, they're like, oh my gosh, you just go out there and just slaughter sheep?
Yeah.
Like, explain that. Explain the actual, like, process that it takes to actually go sheep hunting.
Well, of course, I'm talking about wild sheep, not
That's what I was
domestic.
going to say. I actually had 2 sheep. Like, when we moved out to the country, my dad got us 2 sheep. I'm thinking, oh gosh, we would never like go and hunt those 2 sheep. But this is totally different.
Right, it requires some explanation. And I didn't, again, we don't really have that in Texas. We do now in West Texas, but most people don't hunt wild sheep in Texas or anywhere else. It's heavily regulated. It's gotten very expensive. There's a lot of reasons people don't do it. I got exposed to it, like I said, at those Safari Club conventions. And I because I'd been to the Teton, Yellowstone area where they do have sheep, I knew what the habitat was like. And it's just the most beautiful in the world. So that's the main reason I got attracted to it. But I learned that it's the most challenging kind of hunting too. Just getting to where they are, high up in mountains and remote parts of the world where there generally aren't people, is unique to sheep hunting. And you have to climb really high, usually above the tree line. So you end up in circumstances where you have long shots almost all the time because they've got great vision and you have no cover. So you can't get close to them. And you're on mountains, so you're shooting up and down. You've got a lot of challenges that you don't have with sitting in a deer blind in Texas, which I'll still do if I have to. But it's not a challenge.
Well, we really thank you for coming out and speaking with us today.
My pleasure. I think anything we can do to educate people on firearms is a good thing.
And we'll continue to do so. Thank you very much.
All right.
Some anti-gunners love trying to convince people that the Second Amendment only applies to muskets. So I decided to review one. And at first glance, I have to say, you've got to be one evil SOB to regulate someone's self-defense to this. I have no idea what to do with this thing. Where does the magazine go? Where's the charging handle? The trigger is 1,000,000 pounds, it weighs a ton, and I've seen pole vault poles shorter than a barrel on this thing. And I dare not forget the incredibly long process it takes to actually load a round and fire. I've seen paint dry faster than the time it takes to load a shot. And as far as accuracy, you can forget about it. I'd be more accurate with the slingshot. At this point, I've come to the conclusion that the musket was designed by Lucifer himself as a joke on Civil War soldiers. Or is it? Thing is, for all its faults, there's a silver lining of positive attributes that make this gun special above and beyond specs on a website. As much as I love the synthetic plastics of modern AR-15s, there's an organic beauty about an old-fashioned wood and metal gun a modern AR will never reach. Like seeing an original painting in person versus a beautiful picture online. This gun is beautiful. Sitting next to a modern-day AR-15, it makes the AR look cold and lifeless. As much as I hate the loading process, I love it all the same. With a 30-round magazine that can be dumped in seconds, there's very little distinction between the first or 23rd shot. But because it takes 3 hours to load a musket, it makes each shot uniquely special. I'm forced to have an appreciation for each and every shot. I look at the history behind a gun like this, and I can't help but be grateful and appreciative of the people who lost their lives because of the gun's shortcomings. But thankful it served as a foundation for the modern wonders I now collect like a woman in her shoes. There's no shock when I say, I would choose a modern AR-15 over a musket any day. But as a gun enthusiast, I could never leave it behind, if you know what I mean.
So the sword, considering you were alive during the Civil War era.
Really?
That is rude.
You're gonna let
That
us
is
do
rude.
that?
I can't defend against that. I'm old. I know it.
I mean,
I know.
You can't defend against the truth. Whatever.
Never.
No, but I mean, you shot a musket before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. And the modern stuff, so there's modern inline muzzleloaders, and there's older stuff, the stuff that you shot. I like the more modern stuff, obviously. You know, it just takes a little less time to load.
Just a little.
I have to say that was one of the funniest reviews that I've seen you do. I mean, it was just the image of that hat and that gun made me laugh, along with the where does the magazine go, where's the charging handle, classic stuff. So
I think they called me the modern day urban buffalo soldier enthusiast.
I think we did hear some references to that.
No.
But
No.
those little Civil War hats relative to the hat that you were wearing, it just made me laugh. I mean,
Wait, when did you actually, have you used a muzzleloader before?
Yes.
Okay.
I hunt, so during hunting seasons, there are actually muzzleloader seasons where that's the only thing you can hunt with, because I don't necessarily prefer it, because it does take a long time to load and all that. Even the modern stuff.
And my inexperience with muzzleloaders, we're talking completely different than the one that...
Yeah. So these things actually look like rifles, but you still have to load them through the
All
muzzle, but it's much faster.
Okay.
You use pellets instead of the powder that he was pouring in through the funnel. And my reload, last time I went hunting, I was in New Mexico and in wilderness, elk country, and my buddy actually shot an elk, but he was about 75 yards away. We had talked about the reload. We weren't going to actually reload. I was going to sprint to him and give him my gun because it's so much faster. So I actually sprinted about 75 yards because he had crawled up and got into the elk. And when I heard that shot, I literally got up and sprinted to him 75 yards, handed him my rifle. I grabbed his rifle. I was reloading because I didn't know what the situation was, but it worked out well.
But see, it's with the musket. Reloading it was almost like an art form.
Yeah.
You know, like you go through the process, and it was very enlightening.
Yeah.
And almost spiritual in some respects. But there's nothing spiritual about trying to paint a Picasso during the Civil War era war scene. I'm sorry. It's messed up.
Can you imagine how stressful that would be? Like, people are shooting at you, trying to kill you, and you're going through that process of pouring powder down the wad.
I really felt bad because I'm at one point I was loading it and then imagining like, there's someone shooting at me right now, and I'm trying to get the stupid powder inside the stupid barrel.
Not spilling,
exactly.
Not dropping the ball.
And then you get the stupid cloth with the stupid ball in it.
Yeah.
Everything just becomes stupid.
Well, you said the gun was made by Lucifer. I mean, I see that. That was another funny line.
It was a joke that he played on the Civil War.
Yeah.
I mean, they all had to deal with it, but it would have been horrible.
Yeah. Well, actually, it looked like a lot of fun. I would have loved to shot one. Maybe we can do that sometime in one of the courses that you have planned for us. It probably would slow us down in the future on our obstacle
maybe a couple
courses.
seconds.
Maybe a little bit, but yeah.
But it was a neat review. I love seeing that whole dichotomy of you and modern noir and that old gun. But they are beautiful too. I mean, I want them hanging over my mantle because they are so beautiful when you're actually seeing them with your own eyes.
And that's awesome. the one thing I took away from it was that musket, like the level of detailing involved in that. When you take wood, take metal, you made it together. It's undeniable.
You have a different appreciation for it, right?
And those things were handmade. When you're thinking about what they had as means of making stuff back then, it is an awesome piece of history.
And ironically enough, it's just like handmade cars.
Yeah,
they're beautiful, but they're a pain in the ass.
Well, that's going to have to be a different discussion for a different day.
All right, we'll make it different.
Thanks, guys. Guess what?
What?
I got some higher res photos of how I watch Noir this week.
So somebody actually obliged
They
your
actually
request
listened to
for
me.
some bougie,
It's exactly. It's not bougie. No, thank you guys so much. I've actually really enjoyed seeing all these pictures. So keep it up. Again, it's hashtag how I watch Noir. So, okay, I got a really good question this week. Someone said, if money was not an issue, what kind of car would you have?
All
right. One.
Yeah, right. Like I'm going to stay within those parameters. All right. As far as the car, I'd have to go with an Aston Martin Virage. I think it's unequivocally the most beautiful car on the planet.
It is pretty.
And as far as the truck, it would have to be a Mercedes G-Wagon 6x6.
Okay. All right. Well, those are both good options.
They're awesome.
I want the G-Wagon.
That's why I picked them.
I know. All right.
No. G-Wagon 6x6 and just the G-Wagon, two totally different worlds.
All right. You can explain that to me later.
No, you Google it.
Okay. I'll Google it. Yeah. Okay. The second one is, if I take an anti-gunner with me to the range, how can I ensure that they have a good time?
You can't. Nothing is guaranteed. You know, some people just don't like guns.
Yeah.
They don't. However, what you can do is make them as comfortable as possible.
Okay.
Like, let them communicate to them and let them understand that you don't have to go there and be a badass. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to communicate the fact that, you know what, I'm a little nervous about this. Let them ease themselves into it. Right now, they're going to look at you for guidance in terms of what to do, how to do it. You don't want to be a Nazi about things, but you definitely want to communicate the responsible handling of the gun, but then at the same time, allowing them to enjoy the experience.
Sure.
You know, let them know. You may walk away from this and feel like, oh God, I can't do this again, and then before you know it, they're back at it.
Yeah.
So you can't guarantee that they'll have a good time at the range, but you can take those steps to make sure that they're comfortable so that they can have their own genuine experience at the range without being too intrusive.
Awesome. That sounds good. Hey, what's on the Spotify playlist this week?
Okay. I came across this song. I was watching this new series called, I think, Gang Related. And I can't remember, it's like on ABC or something like that. And I came across a song called Sleepwalking from Botek and Lynch. Stuck out to me, liked it, so decided to drop it on the Noir Spotify playlist.
I'll have to check that one out, too.
Yeah, you should, because it's a pretty good song. I haven't fell in love with it yet, but I liked it enough to drop it on the playlist.
All right, cool. Sounds good. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.